Punch! Gran, Puro, Nicaragua. Hey everybody, I'm Kate, and this is Cigar Vlog. Yes, I'm back after a nice little bout with, I want to say flu. Anyway, a little update aside. This is the Gran Puro, Nicaragua, which is horribly out of focus. Thank you, camera. And a Puro is typically a cigar that is made with tobaccos from one region. So in this case, it should be a 100% Nicaraguan tobacco. That means the wrapper, binder, and filler should all be, theoretically, Nicaraguan. So this is going to have a different flavor profile from the typical punch. Typical punch flavors are kind of sweet, spicy cedar. It's kind of one of those things that's kept the brand kind of a household name for well over 100 years. At least I'm pretty sure it's over 100 years. Don't quote me on that exactly. Go to the website. Seriously, go to the website. The actual, I think it's punchcigars.com. I don't know what it is. I may or may not remember to put a link in the description. Probably not, though. Anyway, you go to the actual website for Punch Cigars, and they're known for their flavor, but they're also known for their sense of humor. They have this little age gate where if you're interested in cigars, you click yes, you go in. If you're too young or just not interested, you hit the no to go somewhere else. And last time I checked, the link that it took you to was a Wikipedia article on macrame. So you can definitely not accuse Punch of taking themselves too seriously, which is a good thing in my opinion. Now this is one of those old school brands that still operates factories in Cuba. But we won't hold that against them. Didn't get too good of a light on the sugar. Alright. There we go. Okay, so straight out the gate, there's a little bit of pepper on that sucker. Whew, that's got some spice to it. All right. Starts off kind of that typical kind of punch thing that you're looking for, that you're kind of used to, which is going to be a kind of sweet spiciness. There's a little sweetness, a little spicy, there's some kind of cedary going on. Something else too. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this going first inch. I'm also going to go ahead and yank this band because this is like not one that sticks, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull it. I'm going to go ahead and get this into the first inch and see if the updates from there. So I'm decently about an inch in here. Oh, echo. Serious echo. Okay. It's either echo or breeze. I'm sorry, I can't figure out which one's worse. Excuse me. Still got a little bit of a lingering cough thing, and I always have a cough. I'm starting to wonder if I have a deviated septum or something that's making weirdness. Anywho, not important. Retrohale has something kind of florally sweet in it, along with kind of a baking spice kind of profile. There's also something very, very spicy in this as well. Pretty much the same thing in the mouth, just a little more muted. There's something kind of floral, kind of baking spice, a little bready. Something very spicy. Well, anywho, this is definitely turning out to be different from the first one I smoked. I think I'm probably paying a little bit more attention this time. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get this down to the halfway point and see if that spiciness kind of wears out, or if it's going to be kind of a thing throughout the rest of the steak. Thank you, loud motorcycle. Well, anyway, I'll get back to you at the halfway point. Right, so the gas just came off. I figure that's a pretty good halfway point. Obviously, construction on these is pretty good. I typically don't use that measure anymore because there are some really good cigars that flop off every inch. But yeah, there's at least a solid triple cap on this one. No large veins. Everything seems relatively okay. You find occasionally on some of these less expensive lines, I don't know if you can see there or not, but sometimes the wrapper will be a little kind of chewed up. Then again, that could just be rough handling on my part. But that's kind of the thing about punch. They're a classic line. They're not necessarily a super premium, so they're well made. But you know, they're not like Rocky Patel's or Davidoff's or things that just look like a solid chunk of chocolate. Over here by these trees, get a little bit of a windbreak. Here we go. Ah, that's nicer. Okay. So far, that spiciness has died down completely. It's kind of taking a little bit of a graham crackery note, especially in the retrohale. I don't know why, on the crappiest weather out there, there's always somebody that has to drive the loudest motorcycle on earth. Anyway. The way this differs normally, you know, from your normal punch, like just regular, just straight punch, your typical punch profile is, like I said before, a sweet, spicy cedar. This one doesn't really do that. It's got a slight sweetness, but the spiciness starts for like the first inch or two, then dies off. And instead of getting a cedary note, you get a very baking spice breadiness to it. Like I said, it's got kind of that graham cracker kind of thing. If anybody's never had a graham cracker, just imagine a somewhat cookie-ish cracker that's covered with like cinnamon, sugar, nutmeg, baking spices basically. It'd be nice if I could stay in frame. For some reason I keep looking at the power button instead of the lens. Well, anyway, I can definitely say this would be excellent with a mild flavored whiskey. Or something maybe really peaty scotch. Well, anyway, I'm going to get this down to the finger burning point, which isn't going to take too long given how short this is, and give a final update from there. Okay, this looks like pretty much the nub here. So, one of the things I notice, once you get close to this end, you start noticing a little bit more of the floral note. But then you get a little too close to the end and it just turns into hot tobacco. So far though, if you can get them for a decent price, which you should be able to, these are actually pretty good. A little mellower than your typical punch, but definitely good with a, I would definitely recommend having like a decent whiskey or a peaty scotch or something like that. Obviously you'll also do coffee or whatever, you know. It's like I keep saying, you can drink it with a milkshake, I don't care. You do you. Anywho, not much else to say about it, other than, yeah, definitely check them out if you get a chance. Little neck crack. So, little thing about the weird weather in this state. We hit like 85 degrees yesterday. There's snow in the forecast. Get a load of this. Yeah. Just like overnight, the temperature just like falls out of the bottom. I'm like 2 steps shy of going on an epic quest to find the weather wizard that is screwing with the clouds. Anyway, like I said, there's not really a whole lot else to say about this other than check them out. Beyond that, yeah, if you like this review and you hear the review, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if you've had a different experience. Also, check out my Twitch stream, which is going to be Friday to Sunday nights, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. If you can't make it for the live show, it's recorded for like, I think 2 weeks or something like that. But yeah, I usually do Fallout 4, Skyrim, Oblivion, Borderlands 2, Blade and Soul, or whatever else happens to strike my fancy. Anywho, that's pretty much it for this. So nothing else to say. Alright. That's all I got. I'll see you next time.